Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. I had a request to use this Thoughtful Journey Suite, which is the Thoughtful Wishes bundle, and this paper pack right here. So pretty. It's in our annual catalog, so it's around for a whole year until the end of April. So we've got a while to use it. So you've got the stamp set, which has all these sentiments which stamp nicely. Dearest friend, thinking of you fondly. Thanks, you make life better. I appreciate you, missing you, a little splatter. And then this little guy right here. And then the dies, you've got some big ones and some small ones. So I feel like we've had this one before, similar. Anyway, I don't have it, so I really like this piece right here. This one, I feel like these could easily go fall, they could go holiday, and especially these. These leaves, to me, could definitely go holiday with some red berries on it. And these two actually layer on top of each other. It took me a second to figure that out because this one didn't have any flowers, although you could just add your own little flowers. But in fact, if you cut this one in one color and cut this one another, and then you put them together, let me show you, they layer together. So they layer on top of each other, which was a little bit of a task to get that together. To me, it's almost easier to just color this with a marker, a green marker, and then color the little flowers, or to use this one and then just put your own little flowers, because we always have little flowers, right? So it's a nice bundle. I found myself, when I was using it though, wanting one big flower to use with this. Like, I like this as together, but I also really wanted a flower, a little flower die with it. So it's the only thing I would say that I was missing on this one. I would have liked just one little flower die that I could put here, or I could add here or something, but it's very artistic and pretty. And the paper though is, to me, is a must. So there's 48 sheets and they're 6 by 6, and they're just beautifully watercolored. You know, they've had several versions of this, and this one is another one. So if you like this look, they're so pretty. Look how pretty that's going to be for winter. So pretty. Look at that. I love the artists that Stampin' Up! that watercolor these, and then they come in and photograph them, and that's how they do it. So pretty. And lots of different colors. Some are more muted, and like I said, some go, to me, look more fall, and then some look more spring, and then some are in between, so they're just really pretty papers. I started with this one first. This was my first round. I cut it right here at like 4 inches so I could save the other piece for something else. So I started with a Mossy Meadow card, which picked up this dark green in here. This is 3 3/4 right here, and then I layered it on white and I tore the bottom. And then I just added the back of this, which is one of the strips that was left. And I just love these dies. I'll link to them below. It's a whole set of all of these really fun dies that give all these great little bits of texture. And a little ribbon, and then the butterflies. I'll show you how I did those because I'm going to use that butterfly on a different card. But really easy to do and pretty, and the paper does all the heavy lifting, of course. That was my first one. This was my second one, and I'm going to do a version of this for you. So I like how this one came out a lot. I did Misty Moonlight back here, and I'm going to do a different version of this for you. But it came out pretty. This, you know, really nice big swag here, whatever you call this. It just makes a really nice statement on that. And thinking of you fondly. Now I did the basic beige. Of course, if you wanted to make it brighter, you could do white and then make the base of the card white. So, but I was wanting to do something a little bit more muted. So I like how that came out. All right, so on this one, we're gonna do Lost Lagoon as my base. And I'm gonna take my Lost Lagoon pad and I'm gonna add a little bit of texture on here. Just, I mean, ooh, that was too dark. Okay, ooh, we got the other side. All right, don't drop the pad. I just like the streakiness of it. And I like how it gives it a little something something in the background. So just barely do it. If you have the spots, that works really well too. Oh, before I forget, here's another part of that suite. There's these great memory keeping cards, they call them, but I use them for cards all the time. These are so pretty, and maybe I'll use these next week for a video, if that sounds good to you. So these are gonna be really fun to play with. I mean, look at all these. Oh, I can't wait. So these are really quick and easy, fun cards. So I forgot to show you those. So on this one, I did a little 3-inch piece. On this one, I did a 4-inch piece, and then I saved that other strip for the inside. So I did 4 inches because I wanted this particular pattern. So you can see right here. And then I took my stylish shapes, so my stitch circles, whatever you have, and you can see where I cut them all out of here. Right there. So I just wanted all those circles. Now I'm doing Lost Lagoon to kind of brighten it up a touch. And then I'm going to put it on a white card. Now is the fun. You can just sort of layer them around and see what looks good to you. I kind of like having some that are solid in there and some that aren't. And of course, if it's too much, you can always turn them over. I was doing an odd amount for 5, just like that. And now if you decide that you want to do a little bit of stamping, you can for the background. Maybe a little bit, I might do something like right here. So I'm just going to take Lost Lagoon on top of Lost Lagoon and just put a little sprig right there because it's pretty. And then I think I want to do a little splatter just to give it a little something something. So I'm going to bring in my white pad, give it a little squish. This is the pigment ink. So take a little aqua painter, a little water in there, or a little paint. If you don't have these, just use a paintbrush and a little bit of water. Not too much. And give it just a little flick. A little more. Just a little. And if you want bigger ones, you do that, but I don't want bigger ones. Just like that. Let that dry. I'm impatient, so I use my heat gun on it. Now, if you want it to be really bright white, you would want to use maybe paint. Paint works really great too. Take a little acrylic white paint and water and just give it a little flick. Just it's a nice little extra something something. Now, some of these will go on just flat, and I might pop a couple up, but let's see. Now, some of you like to do 5x7s, so if you do 5x7 cards, you just use bigger circles and just kind of fill it all in. I might still put a butterfly on it, so that one I can even go off the edge a little bit. It's nice because I can kind of play around with the layout on it. I'm going to trim that one off the edge. This one I'm going to pop up with some dimensionals. Make sure my grass is going in the right direction. Trim the back of this one off. There. Okay, now I did white for this just to really make it pop. Actually, and I can bring this one over just a wee bit. There we go. So I've got a little bit more room here. And then once I put that on the white card, that's really going to pop too. Now, I could make this sympathy, which is what I had started with, but I decided I'm going to do this one instead. I embossed it in white on the Mossy. And it's already got dimensionals on the back and they're sticky. And so I can just do this. Now, I can also add a little bit of ribbon if I want. If I want to do a little ribbon, I can. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to leave it kind of loose. So that's really stuck on there. Now, I am going to do a butterfly. So I've been using these paper butterflies a lot. They are so wonderful. They're laser cut. They're super delicate. I think maybe I'll do this one. Now, I could even leave it white, I suppose, but it's a little too white. So I'm going to bring in some of these colors. This is the light wild wheat, which is in this paper. Let's do that. So I'm just gonna use my blends and just kind of go over him like that. Right there. And I might want to bring in a touch of that freesia. What do you think? I definitely need to do some mossy meadow on his little antlers, his antenna right here. Just a little bit there in the back side because you can kind of see it there. I might need to do something darker for his little antennas. Let's do a little black. By the way, if you want to try the new markers, you know, they redid the tips for the bullet tips. They're fantastic. And you can buy the black by itself. I think it's $3.50. But it's a really good way to try to see if you like them before you buy a whole set. There we go. It needed a little bit more on there. And this is actually Petunia Pop, so I grabbed the blends, the light one. Let's try that. Let's just give him just a little bit of color down here. Make him a little bit happier. The good thing about the blends is that they blend. So the colors just kind of blend into each other so nice because they're alcohol markers, so it's really nice. Oh, you know, we need some Wink of Stella on that because he needs to glitter just a little bit. I should own stock in Wink of Stella because I use it so much. Oh, I like that. He's pretty. Okay, I'm going to put him, of course, now you can't even see the stamp. All right, so we're going to take this off. And Adventures in Stamping, we're going to take that off and we're going to make that flat so that I can put my butterfly up here. I don't want to cover up my little stamp there, and he can go right there. He's pretty. Right there. And this calls for a glue dot right there on his body. They're very delicate, so just be careful as you're putting it on there. The good thing about that is that they are thin for mailing, so they're nice and thin. We're going to add this on the card. Once I add it to the white card, it's going to brighten it up. And the white is repeating 3 times. You know how I like that? So once, twice, 3 times. I can add a little butterfly or something here and then some bling. Let's do one of these little guys right here. Let's do one of these little ones right here. And these are really pretty. These are in the in colors from last year, which are still current, but they're really pretty and they have like a little glitter in there. But I think I'm gonna do the metallics on this one because they like the gold butterfly. So I'm just gonna throw a few of these up here around. So one question somebody's asked is, how do you know where to put the embellishments? And I sort of think that when someone's looking at the card, you want them to start here and come this way and then open the card, right? So I sort of start and then work my way around, I guess. So start here, and this one can actually come over here. So here, 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 and then they move along to the inside. That's what I did with my extra piece. This one, I wanted to make it a little bit bigger, so I did another piece here and a little piece of Lost Lagoon to bring in from the front. But if I had this one, this is the leftover piece from cutting all these, I could just put this here in the corner and then make the rest of this Lost Lagoon. So that's probably what I'll do, just because it saves on the paper. So I would definitely say get the paper. The paper, 100% the paper. Get the paper, get the butterflies, for sure. I think those are both great. The bundle is really good. I like it. I just think I wish it had a flower in it. But otherwise, I think it's really nice and it's going to be really versatile for lots of different things. Imagine this in gold or silver for anniversaries. I think I'm going to use it. Anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.